Alright, after a nail in the tire when we woke up this morning, and then I'm an hour into the drive to meet Philly, and my truck starts running hot enough to cook an egg on the radiator. And finally we're in Dothan at, what time is it? 3:30. We were supposed to be here 3 hours ago.
We're dead.
We ain't gonna make it.
Oh God.
We just got to the neighborhood market, Walmart. Go in here and get us some groceries for the weekend. People with masks everywhere. So there have been a lot of signs pointing no.
Ain't a doubt.
Since I woke up, I've talked to Jeff a few times, and he's fired up, and we're excited. We're just, you know, glad that we could finally get to Dothan. The drive from my house is like 7-something hours, and it's the same from Philly's, but Dothan was a good meeting point. But little did we know, it was gonna take us 12 to get to Dothan from our house because of all the stuff that happened. So we're here. We're about to go in, grab some snacks and stuff, and we'll update y'all as we get closer to Florida. It's Corona time. What y'all think we should get? Maybe Chips Ahoy, honey bun. That's a must. So. That's big there.
That's a double stuffed.
Double stuffed?
It's Corona time. Hey, it's Corona time right now. It's Corona time. It's Corona time.
So this was our first morning in South Florida, and right off the bat, I mean 30 minutes in max, we've got this action. We were in the blind, what, 20 minutes maybe? Mm-hmm. And that first bird that gobbled was the bird to our right. Where we were set up, we were in a pasture with a finger of woods that came out through this pasture, and the blind was over to the right of the finger, and all the birds were roosting within that finger, so we were right outside of maybe 50 yards from the tree line, maybe.
Yeah, something like that. I mean, we wasn't far.
No, we weren't far. No.
If they came out of that wood line, I mean, they were getting close. They were
Yeah.
close to shotgun range.
So that bird that gobbled first was to our right in the woods a little ways, so we were really focused on him. Like I said, we had been there for 20 minutes maybe, so we weren't even really good and settled in yet. And about 5-10 minutes after that bird starts gobbling, here come the two birds out of the front of the finger of the woods, and they're starting to work and hang out, and they're messing with each other. And the big Tom caught a glimpse of the decoys, and that's when he worked his way through the tree line, and y'all see him strutting. He's dead in front of us. How far is he when he was strutting in the woods right there? 60?
Yeah, 60, 70 yards.
Yeah, I mean, the camera may make it look farther because we're zoomed in a pretty good ways, but he wasn't, the camera wasn't even full zoom. I mean, 60 yards max, maybe 65, full strut. And then he comes out of the woods like y'all see him, and he goes down to the drop, and he comes back up, and at that point he's 40.
Oh yeah,
I mean,
he's closing in at that point.
Yeah, he's closing in.
Once he comes up out that ditch, he
was in range for sure,
yeah.
Shooting range for sure. But I wanted to work him a little closer to get some good footage of him because, I mean, it was gorgeous. I mean, the footage was perfect. And so he works in a little closer, and at that moment, me and Philly are like, this is unbelievable. Like, this is the perfect, like, you couldn't have chalked it up any better.
No.
Then what happened?
First morning, 20 minutes in, he come out spitting, gobbling, everything you'd ever want him to do, and it's just...
At 40 yards. Yeah. And then, so, the bird works in finally, and I get on him, and that's when stuff hits the fan. And what happened next? And what happened next is just something that, you know, it happens. It's one of those things that happens, but you just never can plan on it, and you never expect it, especially on a trip like this where you're 9 hours away from home. You put in time and money into it, and stuff goes
bad really quick, and then gets worse. And then the worst it can be, actually. I mean, it gets as bad as it can go. So.
It's about to mess up. Stop struggling. I'm about to kill him, alright? Are you holding me? What the What the I'm about to kill him. Bro. Oh my god. Hand me your gun. I don't have my gun. What? What is going on? Where did he go? I was dead on the bird.
Out of there to the right.
It went to the right of him.
Oh, where did the shot go? I can't tell you.
Did I hit the bird at all?
I don't think so. I mean, talk about rushed. I mean, it went from completely calm, cool, and collective. Like,
Was I panicked?
were you panicked? I could feel his heart rate through the blind. I bet the turkey felt it in his chest.
Do you think I was drumming?
Oh yeah, he thought you were spitting and drumming. That's why he's so confused. He's picking his head up like, what? Where's he at? You know? And I mean, it was just, it was to the point where like, you on the bird? Yes, I'm on the bird. All right, I'm about to kill him. I'm waiting on him to start flopping because I'm going straight out the window as soon as this bird starts flopping.
Oh, well, we were gonna bust it down out there.
Oh, we were terrible.
That blind would have been. There would have been no pieces left.
I hate to tell Mr. Jeff, we'd have to buy him a new double bull.
Yeah, Jeff. If I would have that bull blind would have been torn to pieces when we got done with it after I killed that bird.
But you know, Shooter McGee over here, Chris Kyle, tried to pull a quick scope on this long
dude, I'm telling you, it is literally it's.
But hey, I knew it was bad for you, just because on me. You know, I'm sitting there holding the camera. I'm got my ear plugged like this, and I'm just sitting there like, all right, I'm about to kill him. Like, and I'm just, you know, I'm tensing up, getting ready to hear the gunshot, and all of a sudden you're just like, and you're just looking around like, what happens?
I literally can't explain to you
that feeling.
I can't explain to you when you have a gun thrown up on anything. This is the first time it's happened. It's never happened on a deer. I've never, ever.
It's never happened on deer. It's happened plenty of time on ducks.
Yeah, maybe
but,
duck hunt. Now, duck hunt, you're throwing up all day.
Yeah, I mean, if it don't shoot, you're just like, God dang, why didn't it shoot? But
yeah,
I mean, it ain't like a deer. It ain't.
Yeah, it's nothing like a deer. I'm telling you, I will, unless I experience it again. There is no other way. I can't explain what went through my mind when I was on that bird, perfectly calm. We have everything set up. You're talking about great footage, like I mean unbelievable.
There's nothing else you could have got.
And I got on that bird, and I pulled the trigger, and you hear. Even to be honest with you, I wasn't even panicked then. Like, I didn't panic too bad when I first pulled the trigger. The panic hit when you can hear me in the footage re-shell the shell, put it back in, get on the bird again, and you hear me say, okay, I'm going to kill him. I was pretty panicked. At that point, I was just like, what just happened?
But you were still like, surely it's not going to do it twice.
Yeah, exactly. That's
like, I mean, there's no way, like, okay, Jam, got the shell back in, you're like, okay,
good. You know,
all right,
that's
he's
just
not startled, I'm about to kill him. But hold on, just round 2.
I get back on him, and I'm like, all right, I'm going to kill him. And you said, okay. And you were still on him. And I go,
oh, man.
At that point,
Colton said, give me your gun. And
I said, give me your gun. Your gun was in the truck.
I said, the Benelli's in the truck, son. The only thing I can do is throw a rock
Was
at him.
Was I fluttered?
So, were you fluttered?
Well, I've been turkey hunting a long time. And what happened this morning? There's nothing to say. Click. Double back click.
So after my hunt that morning, we hunted hard for the next 2 days.
That we did.
It was about
in the South Florida heat too, and about 96 degrees.
It was hot. It was probably pushing 90, 91. But the real feel was probably in the 95, 96 range.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it was blistering.
I thought it was hot in South Alabama.
No.
Let me tell you something. South Florida.
And it's thick down there. It's thick down there, too, and it's a different thick.
Just so muggy. Like,
it's a different.
You can't breathe. I mean,
it's a different
it's humid. It's humid down there, too. I mean, I know it's humid in Mobile and all in Alabama, but, man, we were sitting there chasing them birds, and it was running through all them thick palmettos and palm trees and everything. Oh, gosh.
Yeah, the thick is way different. It's It's really dense in there. It's low thickness too. It's really low to ground thick, and you are just to get to a bird, you have got to commit to him, and you're going to go through some stuff. But we hunted hard for the next day. That was our second day. Me and Philly stayed together day 1 and day 2 throughout, even after the whole disaster that happened that morning. Hunted hard that afternoon. Got on a few birds. The next day. We set up on a bird outside of a big pasture that led into a little open area in some timber. Thought the bird was going to commit. Never ended up committing. So we set up on the field and we just said, you know what, we're just going to set up right here and we're not going to move. I mean, we had deer walking 3 steps from us.
Oh, yeah. I mean, we had 4 or 5 days come.
Yeah.
5 yards.
Yeah.
Max.
I mean, close. So we sat there for an hour, gave it time. You know, bird never committed. They were getting hung up in this big pasture, and we knew that's what they were doing. So we got up and checked. Ended up not being out there. And then day 3, we went that morning. We went together, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, we went together the next morning on day 3. Hunted them hard till midday, and then that afternoon is when we decided this is our last day. We need to split up to give ourselves, the best chance. And so Jeff I went back to the property we'd been hunting that's got a bird on it, that we had some opportunities to kill if we'd have done some things different. Of course, it's turkey hunting. And Philly went to a new piece, and it was pretty bang bang when you got there. I mean, what time did you leave me?
I probably left you. Because remember, I wanted to get there at 2. I didn't get there at 2. I probably got there at 2:30, 3 o'clock. And, I mean, it was hot. Good Lord, it was hot. I met with the landowner, and all I was going to do, and once I got in, you know, I went and met him at his house, and I went out back to his property, and he has an old pasture. He had his old pasture back there. And anyway, the birds were working through there just about every afternoon. I mean, Mr. Jeff had them pattern just about like a deer. I mean, he said, you know, they should come here in about 4 o'clock. Well,
because they weren't really hot and heavy while we were down there keeping.
No,
them.
yeah, the birds were not gobbling.
They weren't gobbling very well. They weren't communicating. I mean, so they had no drive at all. It was hard to get a bird to commit, for sure.
So it was really hard to chase them. So anyway, he had them pattern pretty good, and he told me, you know, 4 o'clock, you know, is normally about the time that they're gonna cross right by. Well, anyway, no, I'm waiting on 4 o'clock. I hear he's gonna be right here at 4 o'clock. Anyway, 3:45 rolls around, 4 o'clock rolls around, 4:30. I'm like, oh my gosh, of course, you know, the one day I go over here and set up, you know, he's not gonna walk by.
Yeah.
And about that time, at about 5:30, here comes a hen, and she comes walking right past me, and she goes out in the pasture and starts dusting off. And literally about 5 minutes later, back to my left, I just hear him strike off. I said, oh.
Well, here we are, finally tagged out here in South Florida. We definitely earned this bird this weekend. I hate Colton couldn't be there with me. I wish more than anything that he could have. We hunted together all weekend. I was behind the camera for him, and I was gonna let him shoot. And as y'all see, he had a little mishap on day 1, but that's all right. And anyway, we decided to do a little divide and conquer, so you know we could at least knock down one bird while we were here. And just so happened this guy came out in about, I'd say probably 4 o'clock, and he finally got him over there to me and was able to knock him down. But oh man, what a hunt, what a weekend, what a hot weekend. I know that. I tell you, I didn't think these birds were ever gonna come in. I don't know if y'all can see in the footage, I had about 4 or 5 hens come right by me for about a solid hour. I mean, they were just all out in the pasture grazing, and finally them 2 longbeards came up, and this one was able to give me a shot in about 25-30 yards, and I was able to take him. So, but anyway, we're gonna wrap things up here, get ready to head back to Alabama and chase some easterns, let Colton knock down a few. But oh man, never know in South Florida.
And to add insult to injury throughout the weekend,
I mean, it started off so. This is what's so crazy about it.
Wait. How in the world do we not realize the camera batteries have been going all day?
Oh yeah.
I mean, this is all day.
Left the extra battery in the truck.
Yeah.
Completely forgot about that.
This has been going all day, and we didn't once think, hey, the camera's going to die at some point.
Oh yeah. And what messed me up was when them longbeards came out, they acted like they were going to come in so many times.
Well, don't forget you had 30 minutes of them strutting 90 yards away.
Oh,
too.
I know.
I mean, he's got B-roll footage of turkey strutting for an hour.
You know, and I'm thinking they're eventually gonna work in, because then the hens started working by me. I'm like, man, these hens are about to, I mean, picture perfect, just like Mr. Jeff said they're gonna do. And they stay back, and the hens ended up working. They were literally, the hens got to where they're 75 yards walking dead away from me, and longbeards over here to my left. And I'm like, man, they're not even gonna cross right.
Yeah,
from
you
me.
didn't even think it was gonna happen. Yeah.
Well, wouldn't you know it? I let the camera run the whole entire time on these hens.
Battery.
And
gone.
Battery gone. And what's so bad?
How does it die right?
Right. I mean, right then. I mean, I got 2 longbeards coming right by the fence. So, I mean, literally probably 50 yards from me, about to be game time. And all of a sudden just...
Did you know it initially? Because I know after you killed it, you had to get back, y'all taped the bird up. Did you even know?
I mean,
You had an idea.
I knew it was getting low.
Well, yeah.
But I mean, honestly, in that moment, like, because I had been filming them the whole entire time, and I was like, oh my God, it's happening. Like here comes my Osceola, you know. And I mean, the whole entire time I was filming, they were away. You know, I knew that the battery was going to die. But once they got in, honest to God, I went from just having the camera on them and pulling the trigger. Like,
yeah,
I mean,
it was quick.
You know,
yeah.
So, but of course, I mean, you know, if it wasn't.
But you know, you killed the bird. He tagged his Osceola, and you got some B-roll footage after it, and so it kind of worked out. But you know, at the end of the day, Florida, great trip. On that side, you know, Jeff's side, Jeff, we appreciate it. If you're watching, that was an awesome experience. You did a great job. I mean, he's doing great things on there. Like I said, check him out at Taggart Worldwide. If you want to kill Osceola, go with Jeff Buds. It is no question. It's. I don't know of anyone else I would go with.
I wouldn't go with.
There's no point. I mean, there really is. I'm just gonna be completely honest with y'all. But Jeff, we appreciate it. But you got the Taggart Osceola. It wasn't pretty, but
no, it definitely
got it done.
Wasn't pretty,
so.
But I mean it. And I hate, like I said, I didn't get the kill shot on camera. But I mean,
it's part of it.
It's part of it. It's all real. I mean,
yeah. So
we just, I don't know what else to say. But like you said, thank you, Mr. Jeff. It's one that I definitely will never forget. I mean, it definitely helped me and Colton both become better hunters.
Oh, no doubt.
I mean, I learned a lot of lessons, and I'm glad I got to film my Osceola tag in the process. I feel bad for Colton, you know. And then we've been back in Alabama hunting the past couple of days and been so close to so many birds, and thinking it's finally going to happen, which y'all see in upcoming episodes. And we're gonna close the deal. We're gonna get him a couple.
We might have to throw the leaf suit back on.
Yeah,
y'all stay tuned.
It's getting close. That mojo's getting built back up. So.
Ain't no doubt. But thank y'all for watching another episode. We appreciate it, and y'all stay tuned for the next one.
Corona time. Hey, it's Corona time right now. It's Corona time.
Brought to you by Whitetail Institute of North America. Research equals results.